Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Thomas Cavanaugh Construction is proud to present Live from the Hunt Camp, Valley Heritage Radio's annual trek to the grand old camps of the Ottawa Valley. Now, let's join the Hunt Camp crew and see where they are today.
Well, it is the second week of deer camp here at the Polish Embassy in Calabogie. I'm Andrew Cartwright, and stepping in for Di Bassett, our very own sales manager, Jerry Bim.
Di Bassett became too expensive to have along on these trips, so you took a cheaper replacement, and it's me. So there you go.
And the polite applause greets you. Hey, we want to thank the good folks at Thomas Cavanaugh Construction for making it possible for us to bring you the most popular radio program in the Valley.
Woo! All right.
And of course, we are very honored to have been invited to the Polish Embassy by the owner, Nick Smith.
Hey, Nick. So, Nick, you gave us a call, probably about a month ago one day, and asked us if you could have the Polish Embassy on Valley Heritage Radio and on Live from the Hunt Camp. What made you decide to do that?
Well, of course, Matt Bridges, who owns McPhail & Perkins Funeral Home, is a good friend of mine and a member of the Polish Embassy, and of course a big fan of Valley Heritage Radio and supporter there. Morris Francoeur, who I bought the Hunt Camp from, is a good supporter of Valley Heritage Radio and listens. When I bought the camp, walked in here and turned on the generator, and Valley Heritage Radio was on the radio that very day when I bought the camp. I tried to change the station once or twice the odd time, but nothing else would come in, so it's still there.
Well, you're stuck with us. So now describe the camp a little bit to us.
Oh, well, we've got an original cabin here that was built, we don't know when, because when Morris bought the camp, the roof was falling in. And
before 1959, let me tell you that.
Before 59, and he bought it in 73, and this year marks the 40th anniversary of it actually being called the Polish Embassy.
All right. Tell us where we're located.
We're on the 508 just past Calabogie, between the Ferguson Lake Road and the Limestone Lake Road. It's somewhat of a local landmark. I've been hunting in the area since I was about 6 years old with Stories Chain Rapids Hunt Camp up by Walvin Lake. One kind of neat story about that is my grandfather fought in World War II through Holland and Poland and that, and he'd pick me up from high school to bring me up to the deer camp, Stories Camp, and I'd wait for it. You hit that straightaway just past Calabogie, and I'd look. And I had to wait for it, because the only time you'd hear Grandpa swear, we'd come past the Polish Embassy, he'd look in there, the Polish Embassy, and he'd laugh his off at this place every time we drove past. Well, now I own it, and I'd love to know what he thinks of that.
Morris, tell us a little bit about the name. How did you come up with the idea to name it the Polish Embassy?
Well, we were sitting down at a tent one time, and we had kielbasa on the table, and cheese, and piggle legs. And my uncles came in and they said, oh. So when we got the camp over here, we decided to put a name on. We weren't going to call it the White House because it was all white outside. So we said, no, that sounds too much like Yankees. True French Canadian. So anyway, no, let's call it the Polish Embassy. So that's the way it stayed.
Nick was telling us when we got here that there's a bit of a serious tone here too. They're involved in a fundraising effort at the camp this year that maybe you could tell us about, Nick.
Yes, when Morris decided to sell the camp, he had just found out he had prostate cancer. So we were all wearing new Polish Embassy 40th anniversary T-shirts. On the back of them it says, where bare necessities are held dear, and we're holding a raffle up here this week. We'll probably draw out of that raffle on Saturday night. It's one ticket for $2, 3 tickets for $5. We're donating 100% of the proceeds of that to Movember. Grow Your Mustache. Contact Movember online. Anything like at all, have the conversation, be a man, go to the doctor.
Excellent. Thanks very much. Appreciate that. Now, I understand there's some members of the dreaded Camp Krusty here tonight.
Yeah, we've got the Mike from down and Sheldon Stewart, who of course is married to Basha at your radio station. Basha happens to be the only Polish person who's ever set foot in the Polish embassy.
And it's not a problem that he's a Toronto fan at all?
Well, we might be on Polish ground, but we take the stance of Sweden on that one. And then we've got Beverly. He's up all the way from Trenton. He hunts moose with me, and we told him about the Polish Embassy and the music we play and the music that's on Valley Heritage Radio. He's a huge fan. He's come up all the way from Trenton to join us here tonight, and he'll be picking and grinning and singing along with us later on. There's, Matt Bridges, of course, McPhail Perkins Funeral Home, expert guitar player of the camp. This is his very first year hunting. 32 years old, just got his hunting license in order to join the Polish Embassy. He's going to bring his kids in. We're going to have hunters. My own boys, Evan and Owen, we were thinking, of renaming the camp at one point. We were going to call it For Evan Owen Lodge. But then we found out that we were going to have a third baby, and my wife wouldn't name their little girl Lodge. So then my dad is here. He's been a big influence on my life, getting into hunting, stuff like that. So that's good. We'll turn it over to Larry Harper, Camp Krusty.
To my immediate right here is my oldest son, Corey. And sitting next to Corey, we have Gary Holder. And coincidentally, Gary and I have been hunting deer together for 40 years. This is our 40th year, and we've only missed 1 year. Anyway, sitting next to Gary is his son, Gavin Holder. And this last few years, Gavin has started coming up to the infamous Camp Krusty for the hunt as well. And I have another son who's also co-owner of the camp, and he's on a business trip out west, so he won't be in till this week.
So now, are the better hunters with Camp Krusty or with the Polish Embassy?
Who has a deer hanging right now?
Well, let's just put it this way. When we get our count over there, we try to arrange a drive to drive the deer across to this side so the Polish Embassy gets a chance.
Helps them out a little bit, right?
Gets a chance to see how it's done.
That's right.
So now, do you guys have any friendly rivalries at the end of the hunt camp? Any bets going on?
Not really. We have, of course, Nick just took over this place last year, but you never know. Something like that certainly could be coming down the pipe for the future, right?
So, Nick, what's a typical day like here now at the Polish Embassy?
Oh, I run a pretty loose camp. You want to get up early and hunt? Well, just follow me out the door. You want to stay in bed and sleep? Well, follow Sheldon to his bunk. And pretty relaxed, really, overall. It's a vacation. We have our treats. We're putting on a little bit of smoked pork and beans and that kind of thing. The stuff that the wife won't let you have at home because she doesn't want to deal with the aftermath. But she's not here, so there's nobody to complain.
Morris was telling us that over the years he shot a lot of deer here. Who's the best hunter in your gang?
Oh, I'd probably have to yield that off to Morris for at least a few more years.
There you go. It's actually a special day for Morris. Morris, you were telling us that it's your anniversary today.
Yeah.
And how many years has that been now?
54.
And where's
50 in the bush.
Hey, all right.
50 years in the bush hunting deer and 4 years with my wife at home. She's gonna love that.
Yeah, that's a keeper.
I think I might.
Okay, well, listen, we are going to take a quick break for a word from our sponsor, Thomas Cavanaugh Construction, and we will get back to the guitars, and we will be singing a few. You're listening to Live from the Hunt Camp on Valley Heritage Radio!
It's hunting season in the Valley, and Thomas Cavanaugh Construction would like to remind you to be a responsible hunter and to remember these important safety tips. Always wear your hunter orange. Be aware of your surroundings. Don't hunt alone. Be sure of your target and practice gun safety. These tips will help ensure that hunting remains a safe activity for all concerned. A message from the folks at Thomas Cavanaugh Construction. Have a great hunt.
And we're back to Live from the Hunt Camp on Valley Heritage Radio! We are here at the Polish Embassy in Calabogie.
Tell us a little bit about the story about the negotiations that you had with Morris when you were buying this camp. There were a few stipulations attached
There's
to
a couple
the...
stipulations. We sat down here. We had to have a beer first. Then we had to have a shot of rye. And he says, well, this is my price. He says, and the only thing I'm taking with me is my beer mug and my deer horns. I looked at him square in the face and I said, no deal. No. His jaw dropped to the table and he says, well, what do you mean? He says, that's not a fair price? I said no, nothing wrong with the price. But you're going to come down here and we're going to have a bottle of rye and you're going to walk me around every one of your watches. You're going to tell me all kinds of stories and a few lies. And I said, and when you beat this prostate cancer thing, you're going to come back and you're going to hunt with me.
Yeah,
so here he is, this year, the 40th anniversary.
All right. And now, I think we're going to have some music, Mr. Cartwright.
That's right. We're in the living room of the Hunt Camp right now. We've got some musicians all set to go. What are we gonna be playing, boys?
A little Johnny Cash.
A little Johnny Cash?
At my door the leaves are falling. The cold wild wind will come. Sweethearts walk by together, and I still miss someone. I go out on a party and look for a little fun, but I find a darkened corner, 'cause I still miss someone. No, I've never got over those blue eyes. I see them everywhere. I miss those arms that held me when all the love was there. I wonder if she's sorry for leaving what we had begun. There's someone for me somewhere, and I still miss someone, and I still miss someone.
When we dance together, my world's in disguise. It's a fairyland tale that's come true. When you look at me with those stars in your eyes, I could waltz across Texas with you. Waltz across Texas with you in my arms. Waltz across Texas with you. Like a storybook ending, I'm lost in your charms. I could waltz across Texas with you. Matt. And troubles are just up and gone the moment you come into view. With your hand in mine, dear, I could dance on and on. I could waltz across Texas with you. Waltz across Texas with you in my arms. Waltz across Texas with you. Like a storybook ending, I'm lost in your charms. I could waltz across Texas with you. I could waltz across Texas with you.
Jerry, I have to say, I don't know if you feel the same way too, but I feel like we're kind of at a concert with all the audio devices and the cameras pointing at the musicians. It's
Definitely a media scrum here. I feel like I'm Mike Duffy or something. Nick, I just wanted to thank you so much for inviting the Valley Heritage Radio Live from the Hunt Camp crew out to the embassy tonight. It's been great.
Oh, we're very happy to have you out.
Well, listen, we want to wish you folks many, many years of happy hunting, and congratulations on being a new camp owner, and many, many years of success and happiness.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a Crown land lease up here, and I was very fortunate that the people at our Ministry of Natural Resources helped me out in transferring the lease to my name.
And you're not going to kick that old Morris lad out of here anytime soon, are you?
Well, not Morris, but a few of the other ones might be on the short list.
We hope you've enjoyed Live from the Hunt Camp here on Valley Heritage Radio. We want to thank the gang from the Polish Embassy here in Calabogie for inviting us out today. Thank you so much. We hope you folks have many more years of happy hunting together, and we do mean that in all sincerity. We also want to remind you to be listening tomorrow as we visit Gary Kasabuski and friends near Renfrew at the Whalen Creek Country Club. So be sure to tune in for that. By the way, our cast and crew of Live from the Hunt Camp are wearing some great Mossy Oak jackets provided to us by Columbia Sportswear. They have been provided to them by Afelski Shoes in beautiful downtown Killaloe.
And of course, this program would not be possible without the generous support of Thomas Cavanaugh Construction.
So until tomorrow, from the entire Valley Heritage Radio Live from the Hunt Camp gang, see ya!
Thanks for listening to Live from the Hunt Camp, brought to you by Thomas Cavanaugh Construction. Be sure to keep that radio tuned to 98.7 FM and join us again next time. From the whole Valley Heritage Radio Hunt Camp crew, have yourself a great day.